All right, y'all. What if you do it for the first time after waiting for marriage and it's not good? I think a lot of people have that question. Let's listen and then let's have a conversation.
What if you wait till marriage and the sex isn't good? You know how many times I've been asked this on my purity journey? What if the sex isn't good? Like, do you hear yourself? We were never intended to know what is good or what is bad in sex. We were never intended to know that. You know why? Because sex is good. It's supposed to be between one man and one wife, two becoming one under Christ. This is literally a gift from God. It creates human life. I don't know if y'all have thought about that, but that's powerful. So getting asked this question blows my mind because we were never supposed to have a comparison game. We were never supposed to have a list in our phone of who's good and who's bad. We were never even supposed to have a list in our phone. It's supposed to say one and that's it. But we have taken what is good and we've turned it bad. And now I get asked these just ignorant questions, and it blows my mind because sex is supposed to be between husband and wife, becoming one under Christ. It chemically bonds you to another person. It is beyond powerful. It is the most intimate thing two people can do. Yet we've turned it into a comparison game of who's good and who's bad. Wow. We've used it as a way to shame people. Sex is good. Sex is great. And you know what? God blesses those who honor him. No matter where you're at, if you've had sex, you haven't, you can still make that decision. You can honor God with your sex life, and he's going to bless it. So that's what I got to say.
Wow. E.B. Thang said they turned it into a hobby. Reverence God. Don't let the devil play your mind. Honor God. Hey, or is it E.B. or Ebby? I don't know. Hey, they did turn it into a hobby. We've turned it into, we pervert everything. The world perverts everything. She said we were never intended to know what was good and bad. Sex is good. Sex is good. The Bible says, for this reason, the man shall leave his mother and his father and cling to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Sex is good. God created sex. When used and done properly, used sounds a little crazy, but when done properly, the way that God intended, that is, how could it be bad? We're determining for ourselves what is good and what is bad. And where is that determination coming from? Where is that standard coming from? Where is that standard coming from? We live in a culture where the majority of the culture watches other people be intimate with other people through a screen. And then we take the things that we've seen other people do with other people during an intimate moment through a screen. We take what they've done and what they do, and we apply that to our situation. And that now becomes a part of our standard in our relationship, in our marriage. Who told you that it was bad? Who told you that? Where did you get that from? Who told you that waiting is not good? Who told you to expect that it's not going to be good with your spouse when you wait? Because if you are honoring God with your body, with your temple, then he will honor you. He will bless you. He will bless your marriage. It's just crazy, It's crazy that that's the standard that we use to measure whether or not a relationship will be successful or not. We put so much weight on sex. We put so much weight on physical intimacy and we totally disregard the spiritual element. There are literally people who will stay in a relationship not because they're good for one another, not because they're spiritually compatible, not because they're emotionally compatible, not because they're building one another up in that relationship, but simply because the sex is good. That's the only reason why you'll stay in that relationship. Simply because you've been conditioned to think that that is a metric that is worth compromising everything else for. Who told you that? Somebody in the comments said, Camila Incy, communicate. I swear people are just lazy to work on anything these days. If it isn't instant and perfect gratification in the exact way they imagined, they lose their ever-loving minds. Well, that's the thing. Where did you get this exact imagination of how it should and shouldn't be? You got it from watching other people be intimate through a screen. And that turned you on and you wanted that, or at least you thought that's what you wanted. That's perverted. So now you're bringing perverted standards into your marriage. Why would you ever want to reach those standards of perversion? It doesn't make any sense. I largely blame porn addiction, exactly, and hookup culture, exactly. And that's another thing, because the more that you lie down with another person, the more bodies that you have, the more you are developing for yourself what you believe is good and what you believe is bad. And then you're taking that into your experience with your spouse and you're judging them based on that, instead of judging it based on how God intended, which is to honor him and to come together so that you won't be tempted by the devil, so that you can be fruitful and multiply, so that you can produce a godly family that honors God. And even if you're somebody, because I wasn't a person who waited, and I wish I would have waited, honestly. I really wish I would have waited. I simply did not care about God early on in my life. And I lost my virginity very early by some standards, by most standards. I think I was like a freshman in high school. And at that time, God was not on my mind whatsoever. But, you know, when I was married and me and my wife, you know, were intimate, it's even without waiting, it was different. It was different. And I can't explain it to you. And I don't want to explain it to you because I'm not going to go into details, but it was different. And I could definitely imagine that it is 100% worth the wait if you are choosing to do that. So I just want to encourage you in that decision that you're making. All right. What do y'all think? Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.